Well, I heard that whatever job you get in the Marine Corps, you're stuck with forever because that's just the way it is, and you can't switch jobs because my friends, brothers, cousins, uncles, cat told me that, so it must be true, right? If that was the case, the Marine Corps would not be self-sufficient and the Marine Corps would not be what it is today. So that is absolute BS. Whoever's telling you can't do that, it's fake. Talk to a real Marine or career planner and they'll let you know the real deal. But today, guys, what we're going to talk about is changing jobs in the Marine Corps. One, can you do it? Yes, you can. Two, how do you do it? What's it called? What's the process? So I'm going to give you my experience on how changing jobs works, why you might want to do it, why you might not want to do it. So let's go. Changing jobs in the Marine Corps is known as a lateral move, or lat move for short. That means you are switching from one primary MOS to another primary MOS. Primary MOSs are the main MOSs that you enlist into the Marine Corps as. For instance, my primary MOS was 0627, Satellite Communications Operator. Another primary MOS would be 0311 Infantry Rifleman. Now a B MOS or billet MOS or A MOS or additional MOS, those do not count. A billet MOS would be like an 8411 recruiter. You don't enlist in the Marine Corps as a recruiter. You don't enlist in the Marine Corps as a combat instructor, as a force fitness instructor, as a martial arts instructor, as a range coach. Those are additional or billet MOSs that you do in addition to your primary duties. So lat moves are switching from one primary job or MOS to another primary job. Now, with that, there are some rules and restrictions that go along with that. And I'm sure this is changing all the time, but this is the latest information that I got recently. And if it's changed since then, drop a comment below. Let me know, because I'm not always right. I only know what I know. I know what I research and whatnot, but I'm not perfect. So if there's something wrong, drop it down below. And if you're a career planner too, please drop your 2 cents as well, because it's always greatly appreciated. But how do you do it? So per the order, right, after 2 years on your contract, you are eligible to do a lat move. Now, does that mean it's going to get approved and you're going to be able to do it? Absolutely not. Okay? Because your monitor, which is the master gunnery sergeant or the individual who's in charge of your entire MOS, they're the ones who place people where they go, like little ponds, right? You're going to go here, you're going to go there, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, right? They have to allow you to switch jobs. And what I mean is, if your MOS is a critical MOS and you are super understaffed in your job, and all of a sudden you're like, yo, I'm trying to switch jobs, go somewhere else, they're probably less likely to let you go than if you're in a job that's at max capacity or kind of overflowing. And if that's the case, you're like, yo, I'm trying to go somewhere else, they're probably like, yeah, sure, man, go. We need to make room for other people and whatnot. Does it always work that way? No. But at 2 years, you're eligible. Is it going to happen? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but that's just when you're eligible. Whether or not it happens or not is a different story. Now, how do you do this? Well, thank God in the Marine Corps, we have these lovely, lovely people, and I really do mean this, called career planners. And guess what their jobs are to do? Help plan your careers, right? Plan your careers. Do you want to go on a special duty assignment? Do you want to come be a recruiter like me? Some say yes, most say hell no. Do you want to re-enlist and stay in the Marine Corps? Do you want to get out of the Marine Corps? They're the ones who help move you from where you're at to where you want to go, help you stay in and also help you get out and whatnot. So they are the gatekeepers and the people that you go to when it's time or you want to change jobs. To do that, you submit what's called a realm package, re-enlistment / lateral move package. If you've ever re-enlisted in the Marine Corps, you have signed and submitted a realm package. It also says lateral move on there, but you weren't using it for that reason. You'd use it to re-enlist. If you go to do a lat move, you'll sign the same package, but instead of worrying about the re-enlistment portion, you'll be worrying about the lateral move portion if you don't have enough time on station. Because here's the thing, guys, when you switch from one primary job to another, guess what starts over? Your entire MOS. Just like when you graduated boot camp and graduated MCT, you went to your MOS school to learn that job. Guess what? When you lat move, you go to a brand new MOS school to learn that job, regardless of your rank. So if you're a sergeant doing a lat move from, I don't know, communications, for instance, over to, let's say, military police, guess what? You're going to be in MOS school with a bunch of privates and PFCs as a sergeant because they're entry-level students learning that job for the first time. You're a sergeant who lat moved, learning that job for the first time as well. So you guys are both going to be in the same school getting the same treatment and experience. Granted, as a sergeant, you'll be treated a lot better than a PFC or private, but my point is you're going back to school to learn that job just as if you were joining for the first time and going to MOS school as a brand new student. So you start all over, and your MOS credibility starts over. You were a comm Marine or an infantry guy or whatever, and you change jobs, that new job couldn't care less about your old job's tasks and what you did there. Your leadership experience, your experience as a Marine, yes, that does matter, because you leading Marines in infantry, comm, military, police, intelligence, whatever, leading Marines is leading Marines, okay? That's a very blanket general statement, but my point is leading Marines is leading Marines. So you can do that in any way, shape, or form. But your MOS credibility goes out the window and you must start it all over. That means you might have a Lance Corporal who's in charge of you when you're a sergeant because they're really good at your job and you're brand new, and you have to be humble enough to not let your ego go through the roof and learn that job. Vice versa, you could be a junior Marine going to a new job, for instance, and you're over there teaching sergeants. Or you could be a sergeant going to a new job teaching other Marines. Whatever the case is, guys, be humble and maintain a sense of humbleness when you're doing that. Also, just know when you do a lateral move, you must re-enlist at the same time or execute an extension, because that extension has to cover your MOS school. And some MOS schools are only 4 weeks long. Some job schools, for like a linguist, is 12 months long. So depending on what you're lat moving into, you have to compensate for that school time. Plus, the Marine Corps is going to get theirs. Think about it. If you're changing jobs, the Marine Corps is not going to let you change jobs for a year and get out. That's a waste of time, waste of money, waste of resources. The Marine Corps is like, if you want to change jobs and we allow it, cool. We're going to get our money's worth and our experience worth of you in that job. So you're probably going to re-sign a 4-year re-enlistment or a extension or whatever. So just understand that as well. Lastly, when it comes to changing jobs too, guess what? Sometimes there are rank restrictions. If you're a gunnery sergeant like me, if I try to lat move into a regular primary MOS, they're going to say no because I'm a gunnery sergeant. I've been in way too long. Why would I even want to start over and go to a whole brand new school and whatnot this far into my career? Now, what I will say is there are special circumstances with that. For instance, I'm a recruiter right now. I could lat move to become a career recruiter and stay on recruiting duty forever. That's a lat move because I'm switching from my primary MOS to a new primary MOS as a gunnery sergeant. But career recruiting is in the special duty assignment era, but 8411 regular recruiter is a special duty assignment. Career recruiter is a new actual MOS. So there are differences there. MARSOC, right? / Raiders, special operations. You can lat move as a sergeant, or as a corporal, sergeant, staff sergeant, and I think you might be able to do it as a gunny. I think you can do it as a gunny, correct me if I'm wrong, but this far in your career, you can lat move into that MOS. But if I wanted to lat move into infantry right now, they're going to say no. That MOS is not open because there are rank restrictions with that. So again, if you are far into your career and you're considering this, make sure the job you want to go into is eligible. Or go talk to those lovely people called career planners. Say, hey, as a staff sergeant, what are my options to lat move? And they're going to say probably a handful. Recon, MARSOC, CID, or Criminal Investigation Division, which is like a branch of military police. Go be a recruiter, stay out there. Whatever. There's basically a handful of jobs you can do, maybe EOD, right? All like those high-speed, cool-ass jobs. As a gunnery sergeant, they're going to say probably none, unless you're already on a recruiting assignment like this or something else. I might be wrong, but the higher you get, the more slimmer of options you have. If you're a brand new junior Marine or you've been in, you're a sergeant or below, your options are kind of endless. Again, depending on boat spaces, which I don't know why the Marine Corps calls them boat spaces. It's kind of funny, but it's been a thing. The availability in that MOS. So you might be eligible to lat move into an 0311, become a rifleman, become a hard ass. But guess what? If in the fiscal year you're in, the Marine Corps has no spots for you to do that, guess what you're not doing? Lat moving into that job. Career planner might say you might be able to extend to the next fiscal year to do it then. Or they might say, hey man, you're out of luck. Choose a different job, stay in your job, get out, whatever. They're going to give you options of where to go, what to do. But just because you want it doesn't mean it's always going to happen, even if you're eligible to do it. So keep these things in mind. Have I hit everything in this topic? Probably not. Have I hit enough to where you have probably a good understanding about it? Hopefully so. If I didn't, tell me. If I did, tell me too. Also, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. It helps put these videos out there to where people say, I saw this pop up there, whatnot. More people see it, more people engage, more people ultimately benefit from it at the end of the day. Because I don't know anyone else out there right now that's doing what I'm doing to try and help the Marine Corps and show what the Marine Corps can do, sharing experiences, all these other things at the same time. I enjoy doing this. That's why I do it. Most people probably don't do it because they don't want to do it. So for those that are sticking around, that are liking this, sharing this, watching this, giving it a thumbs up, whatever, thank you guys. I appreciate it. If I missed something, drop it below so I can talk about it again next time. But with that being said, until next time,